Oh, cool. Um, nice. Those are all my notes for the instruments. I'm gonna get in the weeds a little bit with some more processing here. But first, a quick break. I need a good 5 minutes here. So quick bio break. I'm gonna put a timer up. Not
Which
just any
timer?
timer,
Which timer, Jake?
but my favorite timer. The old googly moogly. 5 minutes on the clock. Be back here in five. Hi. Do you guys have any questions before we jump back in here? Somebody asked, how long does it take to accomplish the entire reverse engineer program when working each day from 9 to 5 on it? Just to watch all of the curriculum or to do all the assignments or to do your mentorship calls or what? Everybody's so super different. Yeah, everybody's super different. Everybody's timetable is different too because everybody learns differently, right? And different people struggle with different things. And different people come in at different experience levels. So it's so dependent on each person. What sample do you recommend working in? At least 44.1. I just I usually just do 48. What is your best genre to work in? Me personally, metal. Yeah, I like metal. I like heavy music. Could you tell by like my processing on the kick? Mastodon. Ah, what's my personal personal least favorite? Um, I don't know. Usually slow stuff. To be completely honest, like not always slow stuff. But like slow and like not as exciting kind of stuff. Not like sludge. I'm talking like basically anything that doesn't like spike my adrenaline. No, not even Taylor Swift. Like I can get down with some Taylor Swift stuff. Like that's dance. It's got energy to it, you know? Maybe not like some of the older like acoustic stuff. But here's the thing, like no chill out stuff. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'll listen to lo-fi chill stations like on the daily. Like they help me instrumental like lo-fi. It just like helps me write or helps me just kind of like chill out. It's aptly named, right? Um, it's just me, my preferences.
He actually just listens to a tape of me, my voice, giving him positive affirmations.
That anybody could
Most of the time, that's what he listens to.
yeah, yep, just on repeat. Great job, Jake. I'm proud of you, Jake.
You're a winner.
Yeah. How much do you lean on samples when working with recorded drums? In my genres, like massively. Unless they were really well recorded. I really like Kellen, Steven. I really like Kellen from Memphis Mayfire. I just really like his mixes. I connected with him the other day. I just like his taste. I think his taste is great. You know, really, really punchy, vocal forward. Anyway, um, I'm also somebody asked that yesterday too. Like, I'm also really into that Silent Planet album, Super Bloom. I think is pretty brilliant album. I just like the overall just sound, you know. Yeah, it's a killer. Absolute killer. Anyway, um how did you know how to EQ the bass drum? Just I just went by gut. I've mixed a lot of bass drums. So I went with my gut. If you're not sure, then you're gonna kind of look to your references and think about things like how loud is this in the reference track? How much low end is there? How much high end is there? Um, you know, and being able to listen to that stuff, analyze it, dissect it, and then apply it to your own mixes when you need to, or when you want to. is like key. That's huge. So you work on that. And that comes with reps and all that too. So anyway. Jake, do you ever scrap a mix and start over? Not as often these days, but not never. Nah, I can't remember the last one I scrapped. Not in the past year, I don't think. Yeah, what's our reference for this one? Check it out. Yeah, that's too clicky. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna have a kick like kick soft and then a kick hard. Like then I'm just gonna drag the regions around. So it hits harder in the choruses. I could do that with automation too if I wanted to. I don't know. It's just more visual this way. Okay. So I think we're looking at this. I like that. Cool. Did you guys catch what I did there? I got 2 kick drums now, just a soft one with the low end processing, and then a hard one with the high end added. Right? Cool. I really like that. Um, okay. Check this out. I'm gonna start, I'm gonna start cleaning up some of this stuff. That sounds okay. I cleaned that. You know, not really having a huge problem with that pedal steel. It's just mad annoying.
Sounds like an afterthought.
I'm just gonna get that out of there. Bringing down the low end, low mids on this. I'm just curious, did we end up doing any volume automation with that? No, we did not. So that's just going to remain static. Vocal back in, and then just see where that banjo's sitting. I just panned it over to the left a little bit more, and I think that separates it really nicely. That's muddying things up a little bit. So I'm going to take that down. Just managing all the clutter that's going on in this section, kind of deciding what's going to get the priority. Get some compromises.
Taking it in.
Cool. Feeling better about that. Let's do some less processing here. I'm going to put a tape machine on every single bus because I like the way it sounds. I'm going to go 15 IPS on the drums, which will just be a little bit lower. Like it'll have like a lower kind of like bottom end boost. Same thing with the bass. The guitars, I'm just going to leave on 30. The keys, same thing here. And I'm going to do some, please explain what qualities the tape machine adds, like the way it sounds, is general. Okay. Yeah, so basically what tape emulation does is it adds harmonic content to the signal, right? So some people call it warmth, some people call it openness, some people call it character, some people call it vibe. Um it's really just kind of a magical thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just
Pleasant imperfection. I call it pleasant imperfection.
there you go, pleasant imperfections, right? The best way to kind of explain it is to experience it, or demonstrate it. So I'm just gonna solo these tracks, just the instruments, and then I'm gonna turn these tape machines on and off. And you might hear the difference, you might not. But let's get into it. Yeah, so a lot of things happen. I mean, specifically, let's take a look at what happens with the drums here. Adding more high end and kind of like that tickly kind of nature to cymbals and the snare drum specifically, right? And it adds kind of like this perception of depth that I really, really like. You know, just kind of like pulls things out, if I can, if that makes sense, kind of pulls things across like the Z axis and makes things wider and tall. It just kind of everything, just kind of makes that everything a little bit more three-dimensional to me. So, you know, I've got that on every single one of these channels. And just barely kind of like touching it. I don't really do a lot with tape. I'm not trying to drive it super hard or anything like that. Just kind of a little bit of a seasoning. Needle barely moving on guitars and keys and stuff. It's just kind of a fullness that it creates. Hopefully you guys are hearing that. I just really like what it does. So I'll put some tape on like my buses like that. I'm gonna do that on my vocals too. Even though it's technically not vocal day, I'm just gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it on my master.
With the lights on, so give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk, but I love that I like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song, not while I'm laying in your arms, 'cause you love me with the lights on.
So I'm flipping between these speeds, and I liked 15 ips over 30 ips. I felt like the kick was a little bit too powerful at 30, so I switched it down to 15. The 456. 456 and the FG9. I'm just kind of switching back and forth to see which one I like.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk, but I love that I like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song, not while I'm laying in your arms, 'cause you love me with the lights on. Is that so wrong? No, I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give me a minute, I'm still taking it.
I just did like a blind test. I closed my eyes and like flipped through this a bunch of times, and I liked the 456 a little bit more. Um, just just a preference thing.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk, but I
Maybe I'm gonna turn them off.
like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song, not while I'm laying in your arms, 'cause you love me with the lights on. Is that so wrong? No, I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give
Starts to just really make the mix taller, wider, deeper. We're getting a little hot. Ugh. I'm gonna send these vocals to an all vocal bus.
Not to be confused with the all vocals bus.
Not to be confused with the pink all vocals bus. We've got the puke all vocals bus over here. Yeah. What are we going to do about that? Nobody knows.
There's no
Okay.
rules.
I'll just say that.
I got in your head on that one.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Short circuited a little bit. Then I'm just going to pull both of those down.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk.
Cool. And I'm also going to push that through an additional layer of saturation here. Just an SSL channel, E channel console. That's just doing the same exact thing as virtual tape. Same thing, just adding a layer of saturation. And I'll show you what this kind of sounds like. I'm going to do that on the mix bus as well. Again, just default settings here. See if we need to turn anything down. That's fine. Let's check out the bass. Nope. That's fine. Just checking the meter to make sure we're not overloading anything.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So
Cool. All that good. We might have to do a little bit of something on this.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing.
And I don't want to like crush this or anything. I'm just kind of like aiming for the middle of the meter.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. I love that, I like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song. Not while I'm laying in your arms. 'Cause you love me with the lights.
What I like about the SSL like console emulation is like for me it always seems to be like a little bit punchy and pull out the drums and the vocals almost instantly. Like it's just like a characteristic of the desk that I really like. And I've experimented with a whole bunch of different types and different types of console emulation, but I like that one. You know, I always kind of come back to tape going through another layer of console emulation being like the SSL desk. It's just a personal preference, and you got to kind of go with your personal preferences.
I'm not used to loving.
But with and without, check this out.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. I love that, I like it.
Here, I'll do like a little gain adjust here too, because it's adding some gain. Let's see what that does.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. I love that, I like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song. Not while I'm laying in your arms. 'Cause you love me with the lights on. Is that so wrong?
See how the vocals just like they just come forward it's like everything depth wise, and it's smoother and easier to listen to. It's just easier to listen to. There's like, it gets rid of kind of like that brittle, glassy kind of digital kind of sound, right? This is why engineers love analog gear. This is why engineers love analog gear. That's why it's like you see it everywhere, right? The beauty about living in 2025 though is that like we have emulations now that do this stuff phenomenally well, and it's just astounding. I'm always astounded by it. Anyway, and I do it every day. Like I do this stuff every day, and I'm still astounded by it. Are you guys with me? Cool. Awesome. Where are the plugin boutique? Yeah, we used a few plugin boutiques in here already. Drive LE stereo we've used. Let's see what else we got.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk, but I love that, I like it.
Cool. Those vocals need some work, but I like how everything else is sounding so far. Just a little bit of drum processing here. I'm just gonna glue this stuff together. The way I like to do it is to like dial in some pretty extreme compression and then just like roll up on the mix knob. Actually, I don't think that's quite the right call for this one, though. I think it needs a little bit more of a gentle touch. I'm just gonna kind of see what it sets us. Happy with that for a little bit of glue. Also going to try this dual clipper. So we can see there, and you can see on the meter too, like the transient nature of a drum kit, right? So I just kind of want to control this kit dynamically, which will make it easier to master down the line here. I've never used dual clip before, so we're gonna just kind of like bring down the ceiling and see what happens.
I don't know why this is happening, 'cause I do, 'cause it's you. Oh, I do, and it's you. I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk, but I love that, I like it. I don't wanna sing another sad song, not while I'm laying in your arms, 'cause you love me with the lights on.
Kind of looking for the sweet spot here.
I don't wanna sing another sad song, not while I'm laying in your arms, 'cause you love me with the lights on. Is that so wrong? No, I'm not used to loving with the lights on, so give me a minute.
Let's go to a section where it's a little bit more exposed.
We get coffee on a Sunday. Typically, I'm a little rough around the edges, make a mess of it all. Well, I guess not anymore.
Yeah, I just want to tighten up this kick a little bit more while we're kind of playing with the drums here. Uh, 2-1. I'm just bringing down the sustain of that kick drum, the tail end.
Not anymore. You can leave me coffee on a Sunday. Typically, I'm a little rough around the edges, make a mess of it all. Well, I guess not anymore. You can leave me on a Tuesday. Normally, I would be afraid to be alone with my thoughts, but no more. I guess learning the hard way made me a little bit softer. I can't say I don't know why this is happening. 'Cause I do, 'cause it's you. Well, I do, and it's you. I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. But I love that, I like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song. Not while I'm laying in your arms. 'Cause you love me with the lights on. Is that so wrong? No.
Just want a little bit more kind of thump from that snare drum. So I brought up 200 hertz, just by a little bit, decibel and a half.
I'm seeing a light.
Yeah, sounded pretty decent so far. I am thinking that now would be a good time for questions. Any questions, guys? Are you guys with me?
Yeah, so let me share real quick, Jake. Someone wanted an explanation on clippers and limiters and whatnot. And let's talk about transients for a minute. So he's doing all this transient control. Can you stop your share?
Yeah.
And for good reason. Let's start with dynamic control tools, though. The difference between a compressor, a limiter, and a clipper. If you have your OG waveform, compression, depending on the ratio and how you set it, is more so doing something like this. It's compressing the waveform, as opposed to limiting, which is also compressing the waveform, but at a much higher ratio. So limiters are, for the most part, like you could be considered very high ratio compression, and that it's doing a lot more. Maybe a little bit gets through, but not much. As opposed to a clipper, which is actually just sawing off the transient. It's not taking it down. It's just sawing it off. Does that make sense, David? No, clipping's not always bad. Clipping's very effective at at transients, and I think a general rule with clipping that does pretty well is that it's going to do a good job of dealing with really fast transients. The effect of that clipping causes distortion, but if it's a very fast transient, you either don't hear it at all, or it maybe just sounds like something that's not too bad. It sounds good. Like on a snare, it might just add a little bit of sizzle to the top, subtle sizzle. But what's the point of doing all this kind of work? We talk about frequency balance, and then we talk about dynamic balance. In terms of mastering, does anyone know what the point is? Why do I care about controlling dynamics? Oops. Let's think of it this way. Let's pretend that this is my song. We could represent it as like lots of different types of transients. And let's think of this line as kind of the limiter that I'll apply in my mastering. The final thing you do in mastering is apply a final limiter and push up into it. And the goal of mastering is to continue to achieve balance in frequencies and dynamics, but ultimately to get it up to industry standard volume. So if you think of this as our song, and I have very tall, I have a very uncontrolled transient, so there's a lot of range between the transient peak and the body. As I start to push it up into my final limiter in mastering, I can maybe push it that far before I start hearing the limiter. Does that make sense? I'll start to hear the pumping of it. But I want you to take note of where is the main like energy and power and volume of the song. It's not in those transient peaks. It's in the body and the rest of the song. It's down, it's like down in this part more so. So if I'm pushing up into my final limiter and it's already starting to react to these transients, look how quiet the rest of my song is. But if in mixing and some in mastering too, I'm controlling these transients and I'm controlling the dynamic range of the song. When I push it up into my final limiter, then I can go that far and look what's happened. Now the main volume, the real power of my song is here. It's much closer. So overall, we have more loudness and perceived loudness. Okay. That's a process both of frequency balance, but also dynamic balance. So as he's clipping these transients, as he's doing these little 2-3 dB things, notice that you can't even hear it be quieter a lot of the time. You're not hearing it as quieter. It's just kind of subtly, without hearing it, controlling dynamic range, which is all saved space for later so that I can do this. Does that make sense to everybody? And it adds up. It's all those little things, all those little savings that we do in mixing add up. And if I am sent a file that has a huge dynamic range, my mastering tools, I'm having to work with an entire stereo track. It's much harder for me to control the dynamics at a mastering level. You want everything you do in mastering to be much more subtle. So it's incumbent upon the mix engineer then to make sure everything is pretty controlled. I want to receive a file that doesn't have wild, crazy transients. I want to have something that's more controlled. And I think sometimes we get confused with that because we watch YouTube and they say something like, I want my song to sound dynamic. And so we think, I want my song to sound like it has a lot of space, but that's not actually what we want. To some extent, we need some of that. But I think when people say that, usually what they're saying is, I want it to sound big and full of life, to have punch, which is actually the process of controlling dynamics a lot of times, not expanding them. Because if my transients are huge, like I explained before, the made punch of my song is down here and not very loud at all. We want it to be pretty, controlled, compressed, as much as we can get away with it without it sounding flat. But too much, you're not going to have enough volume and it's not going to sound good. Okay? Makes sense?
Makes sense to me, Caleb.
Everything Jake has done, if you think about it, all it has been is balancing frequencies and dynamics. And that can be like a clarifying mindset for mixing. My job is to go in and to as transparently as possible create frequency and dynamic balance.
So, what have we done with our drums? Not much at this point. So we start bringing that ceiling down. Saved about 3 decibels of headroom there, right? So without clipping, we're up to peaking at minus 6.5, and then with so about 4 decibels there.
No perceptible change to our ear in terms of volume, really. But that is a lot of energy
Sure is.
there. That's a ton of energy. That waveform would look dramatically different, and yet we don't hear it as different. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about saving that energy. That means a lot to me later as a mastering engineer.
I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk, but I love that I like it. And I don't wanna sing another sad song, not while I'm late. 'Cause baby, on a Tuesday, normally I would be afraid to be alone with my thoughts, but no more. I guess learning the hard way made me a little bit softer. I can't say I don't know why this is happening. 'Cause baby,
Oh, I can only push this one so far.
afraid to be alone with my thoughts, but no more. I guess learning the hard way made me a little bit softer.
So right now I'm limiting my bass bus. So anytime, there's a peak in my bass or anything like that, the limiter kind of catches it and keeps that bass like basically like a solid brick in the mix, right? It's not going anywhere.
But not clipping, which I think is important here. Careful with clipping on basses. Those transients are not fast most of the time. They're
Clipping is
slow.
really good for like transient heavy material. So drums that you want to control but still maintain the punch, right? And some people just don't like the way that clipping sounds, which is okay too. You can try limiting. Also, it's totally up to you. You
You're
gotta
gonna
kind of.
hear it a lot more on a fat waveform though, like a bass. You're gonna hear that audible distortion a lot more than a very fast, like snap like transient.
So it's my goats. I might play with I might play with a little bit of compression here to glue all the kind of like guitars together. And I'm just going to use a different type of compressor. Yeah, I don't doesn't make a difference to me. I could go like more extreme with it. If I wanted to.
Multiband might be interesting on that.
I just don't like it. So instead, I'm just gonna. You wanted to try like a multi-band something? There's no real kind of like range I want to like focus on though. For me, I just want to take care of the.
laying in your heart.
I'm barely tapping the limiter with this.
Is that so wrong? No. Is that so wrong? No.
Cool. Let's just do a reference check.
I was just tripping out. You were doing that, and I kept hearing this bassy kick. I'm like, how in the world is there like some crazy bassy kick in those instruments? It's just the wife upstairs.
Just stomping around.
No, it's just playing some loud music.
Oh,
But it was, you usually can tell the difference. This sounded like it fit. It sounded like it was supposed to be there,
yeah, it
like
was
in
in there.
time with the music. And I was like, what is going on?
Oh no. What have I done? Let's see where we're at. In terms of the references.
I'm not used to loving with the lullaby. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to years to still be here. Drunk, wash up. Did the nurse come get my locket? Yeah, I don't want way back to a leg that song. Now, in 40 years, in your heart. My time, let the world turn. I'm not used to the way it'll be all.
Anywhere out of this nowhere time,
I don't wanna see
chasing that feet,
that song.
that cooking. Know my way around without a looking home.
Lights on. Is that so wrong?
Thinking that I wanna introduce you to my kinfolk.
Lights on. So give me a put your alibi in. I'm not you, but late, and that's where you'll be. I love.
So I'm pretty happy with what we got going on here. Obviously, still need some vocal processing to kind of get those vocals like really nice and expensive sounding, a little bit more upfront in the mix.
And fun to hear. One thing today is like when we started yesterday, it kind of sounded like the vocals and the instruments sounded cohesive in terms of kind of the nature of the space and how they were dynamically and frequency sitting in the mix. Now that we've polished the instrumentals, the vocal seems like totally out of place. You can tell the difference between the instrumental polish that's there, and then suddenly the vocal is standing out as lacking polish compared to it. So I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but it's pretty apparent.
I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. I love that, I like it. Yeah, I don't wanna sing another sad song. Now I'm laying in your arms. 'Cause you held me with the lights on. Is that so wrong? No, I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute, I'm still taking it in. I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. I love that, I like it. Yeah, I don't wanna sing another sad song.
Catch what I just did there, guys?
Yep, it's helping.
I just shelved up the drum bus and the guitar bus.
We're lacking a little.
Yeah, it's just lacking a little sparkle, right? Is that what you're saying?
Lacking a little brightness compared to the references. So
Yeah, agreed. Here's without. A with.
Now I'm laying in your arms. 'Cause you held me on. Is that so wrong? No, I'm not used to loving with the lights on. So give me a minute.
to do with the multi-band.
Yeah.
I think that's what I wanted you to do with the multi-band.
Yeah, the mid range. So I took out 400 on the guitar bus. Gonna clean it up a little bit, clean out the muddiness, kind of the throatiness that was happening there. Might even be able to pop this up a little bit too. Should have just put this on the bus. It's okay.
I wanna sing another sad song. Now I'm with the light.
You know, and I might push that out a little bit also.
I'm not used to kissing on the sidewalk. I love that I like it. I don't wanna sing another sad song. Now I'm laying in your arms. 'Cause you held me with the lights on. Is that so wrong? No.
Imagine what this is going to sound like tomorrow after we do the processing on the vocals.
It's gonna sound expensive, Jake.
That's right.
Did
You guys follow?
today?
Yeah, did you guys follow me with all that? Did you guys have fun? Any final questions for today? Happy to chill and answer a few questions.
The tips on cleaning a trackball.
What?
That was a
Trick.
question.
Oh yeah, totally. Ready? I'll give you a tip right here. I can't even hold on. I can't even get mine out. All right, hold on.
Ria, we're adding some of that soon.
So I use a guitar pick to kind of like pop out the trackball itself, right? Now you have like I don't know if you could see that there's a lot of dirt in there. See all of that? That's the part you care about. You care about cleaning out, right? So you just, just go in there with your finger, just kind of scoop it out. Look at this. Look at this. See that? See that dirt like flaking? Like just on my finger?
Gross. Oh,
Well, there's a garbage can right here.
oh.
And then we're just gonna scrape all of that dirt out, right? There's some debris in here. There's some leftover pieces, so I'm just gonna.
You can definitely say in 2 years of doing this, we've
Mhm.
not ever cleaned out the trackball before. Live.
And then here's the secret that a lot of people don't know. You use the natural oils from your face to lube up the trackball like this. So just gently, just kind of roll it across your forehead, maybe the sides of your temples, your face like this. Yep.
Are you
Just
being
like that.
real?
Yep. And then boom. Done.
It's also
Trackball
great-
clean.
It's also great for exfoliating. If you haven't yet, look up trackball exfoliation, Google. It's a trend, probably. All right, everybody. Have a
Any other
great
questions?
Tuesday.
Any other questions? Like,
Let's get out of here. No, we're good. We can pick it up again tomorrow. We'll pick it up again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Thanks for being here, everybody. Great session. Great job, Jake. Fun to watch you work, as always.
thanks, man. Awesome to be here. Awesome to hang out.
Have a safe evening. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good